Welcome to Confirmation Bias, presented by the League Ambassadors.
I'm Ambassador Kenny Ken Ken, and for Tiger Woods, the grass is greener on the other side, and that's my confirmation bias.
I'm Ambassador Junior Blue, and if you line me up at the 15th hole in Augusta, I will not hit the ball in the water 5 straight times, and that's my confirmation bias.
I'm Ambassador Dad, and after a great opening day win by the Orioles, we straight shit to bed 5 times. But today, we beat them Yankees, sure, and that's my confirmation bias.
I'm Red O, and only in America can you be the best player in an NCAA National Championship on Monday, have LeBron singing your praises on Tuesday, and wake up on Wednesday being a homophobic wigger. And that's my confirmation bias.
And I'm Ambassador Chef Curry. When an NBA Hall of Famer calls you an alcoholic, it may be time for a change of scenery. And that's my confirmation bias.
Kevin, you do that shit every time. Welcome to Confirmation Bias, hosted by the League Ambassadors. As a reminder, please check us out on social media across all handles, on our handle at The League AM. Also, please check us out on our website, theleagueam.com, where you can find all of our content, including our other podcast, 32 Kings Road, as well as our blog spot, Diplomatic Immunity. That's where, if you'd like, you can drop your fire, your bars as it pertains to the world of sports. For those of you watching on Facebook Live, please submit any questions or comments so we can attempt to answer them at the end of our show in our segment, Diplomatic Immunity. Please download Confirmation Bias and subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts. And also check us out on our YouTube channel, which is under the League Ambassadors. So today we have an action-packed show. We have a more traditional confirmation bias than our show Tuesday, where we interviewed the great Hall of Famer Ralph Sampson. Please check that out. But let's get right into it. Let's get into hot topics. Junior Blue, what it do?
Well, I know there's nobody more excited that Tiger is back than CBS and the Masters. So,
That's funny.
now that it seems like Tiger has recovered from getting windshields bashed in, back surgeries and knee surgeries. My question to you guys, he's +1 today.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think he wins a major this year?
I mean, it's been a long road to toe,
Yeah.
brother. He has looked a lot better this year than he has in previous comebacks. But that's not saying too much because he looked like shit.
I mean, he finished 5th and he finished 2nd in his last 2 tournaments. So he looked all right up and down. He battled back, a few bogeys, a couple birdies. But I mean, I think
He's not gonna
gets
win. He's not gonna win. He's not gonna win a major if he can't do better on par fives. He came into the Masters 101st ranked on the PGA Tour this year on par fives. Today he didn't birdie a single par five, which if he had done that, at least twice, his score would be a lot better. I think that, and Tiger has said this, and different golfers have said this as well, that there's nothing like being on the back nine of a major on a Sunday. The pressure, the adrenaline, and that's something that I think is going to take Tiger a little bit longer to get acclimated to. I think the only way he wins a major this year is if he blows the field away, which is possible. I mean, he's playing some good golf, but there are a lot of good golfers. I don't see it for him this year personally. I think maybe next year.
the fact that we're having this conversation is actually it's weird because it's Tiger, and he's not playing bad. He's playing normal.
Yeah.
But Tiger was the god of golf, So a normal player can win a major. It's happened,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we all like to see Tiger win, he was not the main takeaway from today.
Not at all.
Sergio.
Not one.
The defending champ.
Not two.
One, not four. He hit 5 straight balls into the water. I mean, it's comical. If you haven't seen it yet, please.
He hit the
check it
ball
out.
in the exact same spot 4 out of the 5 times, and they rolled right back into the water.
My question is, which attempt did he start shitting himself? Was it the second or the third time it went into the water?
Third time it went into the water, it was a wrap.
It was a wrap.
It was a
It was
wrap.
doo-doo.
Can he fire his caddy right there?
Straight out of a scene from Tin Cup. Straight out of the scene.
Jordan Spieth is the leader, though, right?
Yes. Jordan Spieth's the
Yeah.
leader. So we'll see what happens. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll see. Well, we know who won't make the cut tomorrow. So we'll see what Tiger does tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure he'll be playing
Sergio's getting hammered and waiting to the Masters dinner on Sunday. He's getting straight slizzard in Atlanta. He's leaving Augusta, going to Atlanta, getting wasted.
He's slizzard right now.
He is slizzard.
Hey,
because tomorrow don't matter.
Right.
not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
All right, so let's switch it up. Let's go to basketball. Let's talk about.
Let's don't waste no time.
Hey, let's
go.
Let's go. Hey, it's golf. Golf. Clap it up. Let's move on. The Wild Wild West.
Man,
You
listen.
know, the seeds 1 through 3 are pretty much wrapped up with Houston, Golden State, and Portland.
Everybody else,
But
though.
4 through 8 are separated by 1 game. So that means you have Utah, San Antonio, OKC, Minnesota, and New Orleans all separated by 1 game. Then you have the Denver Nuggets, who's really only 2 games out of the 4th seed. You have the Clippers, who are 3 games out of the 4th seed.
Right.
So my question is, do the Clippers
No.
or the Nuggets make the playoffs? And if they do, who slides out?
I think the Clippers actually do. I don't want to say that, but I think they get in. They got 3 in a row at home to finish the season. There are no back-to-backs.
One of those games is versus the Jazz, though, who's fighting for home court.
They play the Jazz tonight.
Everybody's
The
fighting for
three,
home
the
court.
three, the 3 they play at home. The
They're
3
slotted there, though. They're there right now. They want
They got a shot if they beat the Jazz tonight.
They play the Jazz, but the 3 they have at home are Denver, the Lakers, and New Orleans. And I think they'll win all 3 of those at home. And I actually think New Orleans is the team that will slide out because they got the Spurs. They've got Golden State on a back-to-back. They play Phoenix tonight, I believe, and then they play Golden State tomorrow.
I hear you on that, but at that point, Golden State's not tripping. They're already locked in. Do you think that they...
No, they want to because Durant and Clay just got back, so they're
got
going to
back,
play.
yeah.
They're going to play for rhythm purposes.
So, Denver, you don't think they got the shot to... You think the Clippers leapfrog them?
Yeah, Denver plays Minnesota twice, and I don't know if they win either.
Jimmy Butler's coming back tonight.
they need it.
And they need it. And then the
Yeah,
other
they
thing
definitely need it.
and the other thing is Denver also plays the Clippers in LA, and they haven't beaten the Clippers at all this year. So
I want to see who Houston plays at 8.
Omar said, "Fuck the chase." I just want to
That's
see.
part of the chase, so I want to see who they play because I think that as good as a team as they are, they're the most vulnerable team.
Well,
to
they
me.
play the Clip. They would play. I think they play the Clippers then.
if
at
the
8.
Clippers make it to 8.
Yeah.
And out of all of the teams at the bottom, I think New Orleans is most likely to give one of those top 3 seeds a run for that money. The other teams, I mean, I like Denver, but they don't have it yet.
You don't think Minnesota would?
I think on paper.
Utah.
On paper,
Utah's a matchup.
in a 7-game series, I don't see it.
You're talking about if they're at 8th seed giving Houston trouble, not just any of the bottom
I think
seeds.
New Orleans. I think New Orleans gets in, they stay in. I think they can give whoever they match up with when it's all said and done.
Why are you so
a
high
pretty
on New
good
Orleans?
series.
Why are you so high on New Orleans?
Because I just want one. I don't want to give up on Rajon Rondo. I think he has playoff basketball.
Hey, Kev, I'm with you, baby. He would have pulled it
I
off
wanna
last
see
year with
Anthony-
Chicago.
He was balling out until he got hurt.
Right.
I really want to see Anthony Davis play in games that matter, that aren't in the NCAA, and I really want to see his game evolve. So
Well,
I
tell
want
his ass
see
to
them in
play
that
through an
spot.
injury one time. Maybe he will. His toenail hurt and he done for 2 weeks.
I think the problem that Houston, to your point, Omar, that they'll run into is if they can play a team that knows how to control pace, which is actually why I like Minnesota. Because if a team can slow the pace down with Houston and force them to play one-on-one basketball in the half court, it turns into Chris Paul, your turn, James Harden, your turn, and that can be problematic.
And that's where the way I feel about it. Y'all know how I feel about those two dudes when it matters.
History is history. Man.
History is history, and you can't shake that. They are two of the biggest players that choke and come up small.
And add the coach.
You are correct. So, I mean, we've seen ones lose to eights. I mean, I don't know if that will happen, but it's just something they have show improve.
Utah, I think you look at Utah. I think you look at Minnesota. I think you even, to a lesser extent, look at Oklahoma City as teams that they can play at a slower pace, make it more of a half-court game, and Houston could be in some trouble. They've got to dictate pace through and through. They got to play fast.
Do you think OKC makes it out the first round?
What are they slated at right now? Six.
So that means
So
they
they
got
play Portland.
They get Portland. Hey, that home court is for real.
I rock with Dame Lillard. For real, for real.
Man, listen.
I rock with Dame Lillard.
He's for
Tough.
Anytime you got players who left in free agency talking about, I messed that one up.
And Oklahoma City is not. They're not playing. You want to be playing well going into the playoffs, and they're not playing well.
That's why they were my choice not to make it.
Slide all the way out.
I said that about a month ago. They weren't going to make it because they haven't beat any of the top teams, and they play playoff teams.
I don't think
except
Houston's playing
for
for anything.
Memphis, their last game. They got playoff teams all the way up to Memphis.
Do you think Houston's going to play for real, with the number one locked up? They got Houston and Miami. Miami's still fighting, right?
Miami, that's Oklahoma City, right? You're talking about, because I looked at their remaining schedule. That's the weird thing, right?
I don't know if Houston's going to play.
Yeah.
I mean, they played tonight. They got it wrapped up, but
They shouldn't play if they play OKC. Like, I wouldn't play.
Well, that game's Saturday. That's the prime time.
Give them some false confidence.
Whatever.
But we'll see. All right, now on to some boxing. We were supposed to have a big fight coming up here on May 5th, and Tainted Meat stopped that as Canelo failed multiple drug tests, and the fight was canceled. Do we think that it's going to be in September? They're going to actually have the rematch in September?
Yeah.
That bias is definitely confirmed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I wanted to make sure we're going to have it.
Yeah.
So,
Because even GGG came back around and was like, nah, I still want the fight because that's his retirement package.
has it lost some of its shine?
Yes. He's still going to make that money.
It's going to be the same. So it hasn't lost shine if they're going to make the same amount of money.
Well, Canelo has lost some shine. He has to. He has to.
Is he forever tainted?
Yeah.
He living that Walking Dead life. It is definitely tainted me. I mean, it's for some. It would be different if Canelo wasn't already suspect on certain things. Not that he was suspect with cheating, but Canelo is, the redheaded stepchild to me, man. He always says something and doesn't follow it up. He pretends he's one thing, is not the other, and then you come up and GGG is the monster. And we all had that feeling that part one was set up for part two, where GGG didn't even really fight. And he knew that. He's lived in Mexico his whole life, and all of a sudden
Now it's tainted meat?
Yeah, you knew about the meat?
You've been eating that carne asada for real for a long time. Don't even play.
They had an episode showing his mama cooking the carne asada.
That shit was tainted as shit.
Right.
Little sprinkle taint on it.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know my suspicion. I always thought that was the play after the fight. Seeing how Adelaide Bird went 118-110 when that's a farce. Seeing Triple G hug him at the end and say thank you. And then now that the fight is on, a guy who's never said 4 words is now upset and he's cussing everybody out.
Good English now.
Yeah, real good English. I mean, it just smells like this was supposed to be the real fight and like you said, his retirement package.
And Canelo fucking up the money.
So what's interesting is what I said after the first fight, because it was clear, if anyone who watched that first fight, that Canelo basically took off the middle part of the fight. And you had, guys like Bernard Hopkins even saying, Canelo's got to be more than a 4-round fighter in order to beat GGG. And I understand that it's a specific steroid that he was busted for, but I'm going to play devil's advocate and say that there needs to be some sort of blood spinning, some sort of EPO that needs to happen to give him more endurance to be more than a 4-round fighter. Because if he's not more than a 4-round fighter, I don't see him beating GGG. With that being said, though, in terms of losing shine or losing luster, listen, if he goes out there in September and he fights like a true Mexican and makes this a brawl, makes this a war, win or lose, his fan base, which is predominantly Mexican, will be right there with him and all will be
I'm
well.
going to raise my hand.
Yeah.
Now, the caveat. Do you actually believe he's going to go out there and fight like a true Mexican, being that he's never done it his whole career?
I don't know because to your I really don't know because
history is history.
To the point, no. What I'm saying, to the point that you guys are making, because of the way that this has turned out, he's got to find a way to stay connected to his fan base.
His fan base is still loyal. If you go on the blogs, they're still saying, well,
Yeah, but if he goes and he gets stomped out, or if he tries to fight the same way that he fought the first fight, which to your point, you're saying it was a coordinated dance, right? If he does that again, on top of being suspended for steroids, regardless of whether we believe he's a cheater or not, I think that he runs the risk then of losing a significant part of his fan base because all they care about is blood, machismo. I mean, I'd like to see it. We've got church bells for season 2 of Confirmation Bias.
Super church bells. All right, time for Black vs. Blue. So we have a phenom, two-way player, a Japanese phenom, MLB rookie,
a young Japanese phenom,
very young
not an
Japanese.
Ichiro.
97 miles per hour is average of his pitch speed. First game batting, which was, I think, third game of the season. 3 hits, 2 home runs. Kid is out there killing it.
Omar, you want to check your notes again? Was it 2 home runs?
Yeah, home runs back-to-back days.
No.
Yeah.
The first time hitting was a home run. Not first time hitting, but that first game, he hit a home run with 3 hits. I didn't talk about the next game.
You said 2 home runs is what you said.
We good.
We good, though.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's hit 2 home runs
Tomato,
this season.
Kenya.
That boy good for these games. But we know baseball is a long season. But is it hope or hype? Will he stay this? Have you seen enough to say this kid is good? It's real. He's worth all that off-season wrangling he did for the bidding process, or no?
I gotta say it's hope because the spring ball, he was garbage. He was garbage. So when the real lights came on, he actually showed up. So hey, it's hope for right now.
I think it's hype. For physical reasons. He is a right-handed pitcher. And he's throwing smoke, as you said, 97, 100 miles an hour, like multiple innings throwing this
That's
hard.
his speed average.
Okay. He's a left-handed hitter, which the lead hand, the shoulder that's doing most of the work, is this right shoulder. I don't think it's going to hold up all year. Even with them, being strategic about how many days that he hits, and with him pitching, they got, I believe, 6-man rotation right now. I think it's hype. I think something actually happens physically with the shoulder.
Okay.
I wonder what the difference is between the Japanese league amount of games and the 181 for
The 211.
right. Because they I think they don't pitch on 5 days rest. They pitch in under less than that, right?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I think it's less than that. Because I remember when Ryu got here to the Dodgers, he was used to pitching faster.
Right.
And it was weird for him to wait 5 days. He had a different rate. So I think and then again,
and how many injuries has Ryu had? A lot. How many injuries has Hideo Nomo had?
A lot.
Chan-Ho Park. Kevin?
I agree with Kenya.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's hype too, just for the simple fact it's like 1 week in the season.
Right.
No one has done this in 100 years. We don't know how people are gonna hold up now, but keep it going.
he does have skills. He does have.
Devin's only saying that because Baltimore Orioles still have a chance. If Baltimore was washed, he'd be all over the Angels bandwagon right now.
Shut that.
Next question, Omar.
He's a whole hater right now.
He You a person I know with 2 teams.
He didn't say you was wrong either.
No.
Next question.
The 2018 NFL offseason. It has been lit.
Or has it, Omar?
Or flop. Well, in my opinion, it's been lit. You got the champions re-upping, the Rams forming a super team, all the trades. What the hell will Cleveland do? Lamar Jackson, will he get drafted?
Damn.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely been a hit. You mentioned Cleveland. For once, they didn't shoot themselves in the foot in the offseason.
Yeah,
Not yet.
Stay tuned.
Not yet. But, I mean, they got a chance to do it in a couple weeks. But so far, to see Cleveland make those moves, as much, in my personal opinion, as much as I hate to see it, having a team in a division, it's great to finally see the Browns making some relevant moves. We've seen Kirk Cousins finally get out from the oppression in D.C. The Seahawks, that era is over. And then, of course, as we all know, watching Kenyon squirm all offseason because he made the wrong choice in the team, the Rams loading up, man.
Nah, we good over here. The Chargers is good. The Rams, we going to see what happened with the Rams a year from now when they got to make some decisions. They apparently said that they're going to pay Cooks before the season starts. So where are you paying Mr. Donald, Aaron Donald?
So 1 year stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah, and Sue's 1 year.
Sue is a 1 year. Exactly. He's a 1 year deal. LaMarcus Joyner, they franchise tagged him. So what are you going to do with him next year?
It's all in.
And you got to pay Todd Gurley.
It's all in.
All in is with Anthony Lynn, baby.
Less quiet over there, like the Raiders ain't found cornerbacks or something.
Hey, I'm real quiet. I'm rocking this Raider hat.
They gave a coach.
This off season right here, I'm not impressed.
How you feel about the Marquette King deal?
In Denver?
I mean, you pay a punter $3 million, you can't hold on to that for long, and still got to pay Khalil Mack.
So you okay with that?
Yeah, he's a punter.
It's field position.
He's a black punter.
He's a punter.
Gruden apparently didn't like him.
He didn't like his personality.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but I mean,
He been out the league 58 years. Like, what do you know about personality?
I can tell you this right now. Denver is going to lead the league in starting field position or opponent started field
kick
position.
that bitch
He
to
gonna
the moon.
He gonna kick it to the moon. He booting that boy.
Especially when he played the Raiders twice.
Yeah, he is.
Real. I would say it's a hit. You have the new franchise in L.A., you know, stadiums coming, Super Bowl's coming.
they got to make it to the stadium.
They got to make it to the stadium, right? But it's good for the LA team to be making some noise, and they were doing the most. So I think it's it.
Yeah.
Come on, Omar. Go ahead and talk about the Bears.
Newsworthy or nothing? What's already known does not need to be said. None of y'all brought it up. All right, so I'm going to call this one Control Alternate Delete. Because Mr. Dante, how do you pronounce it? DiVincenzo, 31 points, 10 of 15 shooting, off the bench. The hero was going, as LeBron said, that man made himself a lot of money.
And then he lost it the next day.
Then people went through his tweets. He didn't delete them fast enough.
No, Villanova did it for him.
He ain't said nothing wrong.
Now, is it newsworthy or is it nothing to see here that a 14-year-old kid had these horrible tweets? We know they was horrible, but he was 14 years old.
That's what I say. I think it's nothing to see here because he was 14 years old. Thank the Lord in heaven that they didn't have that shit when I was 14.
For real.
I mean, what is he, 22 now? 20-something?
Yeah.
I don't think you can hold somebody accountable for something unless they murder somebody at 14
The
years
one
old.
thing that leads me to believe it's different now is before all this came out, his coach talked about how when he first got there, he was a difficult person to coach. And by the time
He had some frustration.
yes, but by the time he got to this year, he matured and he grew up, and that's why he's a better player. And that's the whole point of he's 14. You know.
Does he didn't announce his plans for next year. I'm assuming he's coming back to Villanova, right?
Would you?
After what Mr. Sampson told us the other night, yes, he's got pieces of his game he could work on. But I say that because I think when the draft comes and the time comes to really evaluate him as a player, I don't think this will matter. I mean, shit, my MySpace from 2004 is still active, and if y'all saw that,
He was 4.
Omar, you were 34.
Yes. Cut him off. Cut a brother off.
Cut his ass off.
Shut him down. Shut him down.
Now we're moving to our "Is You With It or Nah" segment, which I'm sure you've all been waiting for us to get back to our debate. Tonight, we have in the purple corner,
Yes.
from Baltimore, Maryland, 5'8.5", 200-something pounds.
Oh my God.
The Hispanic sensation. Dad goes up against the fair weather corner of Mr. Kenyon 8, standing at 5'3", 176 pounds of muscle. And they will be battling over a simple topic. Pick 'em, Mr. Deontay Wilder against Anthony Joshua. Who wins? So I have a coin today. Thank you. No number picking here. I'm going to flip it. Mr. Eights, call it in the air.
Heads.
It is indeed heads.
Yes.
Which boxer are you advocating for?
Let me guess.
I'm definitely advocating for Bomb Squad.
Of course.
All right, well, Dev, you get to choose. Who goes first?
You know what it is. You go first.
Somebody watch the clock.
Yeah.
Kenyon, it's on you.
Let's go back to January 2015, which is the last time that we had a legitimate question about whether Deontay Wilder was going to win a boxing match. Enter Bermain Stavern. Decorated amateur background, championship pedigree, knockout power. He knocked out his first 12 opponents. To that point, all we knew about Deontay was that he was an untamed powerhouse, a wild horse. And he fought cab drivers, cooks, and ex-cons. And on that night, Deontay, via his trainer that we affectionately call the Barber, decorated U.S. amateur Mark Breland, showed that Deontay knows how to employ the most dangerous punch in boxing, and that is the jab. Deontay Wilder's jab is going to land at will against Anthony Joshua. And as we all know, the strongest man in the world is a black slave. And that is Deontay Wilder. He'll win by knockout. Won't even be close. We've seen Joshua fall. Wilder will take a hit as well. But Wilder, he's got fundamentals. I want to say that again. Fundamentals.
Speak it, believe it, receive it.
Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it.
Ring the
Those
bell.
fundamentals.
He a wild boy.
I'm out. I'm out.
Come on, Dad. Talk your shit.
Ain't no shit to talk.
All right. So, there's absolutely, positively no way that they're going to let Deontay Wilder beat Anthony Joshua. Reason being is because he is the next boxing superstar. He's a megastar. Canelo's cheating. Tainted meat. We already discussed that. No pause in his tainted meat either. So he's done. He's not going to be the big star. Politics just won't let Joshua lose. Plus, on this show, and at my house on several occasions, Omar is on record calling this man an Adonis.
Oh, wow.
Just look at his body.
We'll address that in a minute.
And that smile. He is a superstar in the making. Now, Wilder has fought lesser competition.
I am securing my manhood.
Mega bums. He's fought mega bums.
Mega bums.
But when they fought the same fighters, the outcome was better in Joshua's favor. He knocked out Molina in the third round. It took Deontay to the ninth round. Wilder is undisciplined. He's wild. He's also light in his ass. They're about the same height, but Mr. Joshua weighs about 240 pounds when he cuts weight. We know in the last fight, Wilder was 214 pounds. And if a 42, maybe 45-year-old Ortiz gave him problems, what would the 28-year-old former Olympic gold medalist do to him? Klitschko fight for Joshua showed that he can overcome adversity. He regained his composure, and he beat a great champ who dominated the sport forever. Even though he was 41 years old, he didn't look it that night. Now, he has the upper hand in this fight because he has 3 of the 4 major belts, and Deontay has to come to him. The whole country is behind him, and the U.S. can't even get behind Deontay. Just like my man said, I'ma knock him spark out, mate. Anthony Joshua. God bless the Queen.
I have to choose a winner, right?
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm going to start off by saying that, Devin, I love you, yo. You are my brother. But very few times have I ever been afraid watching somebody fight. Once was Mike Tyson when I was 6, and the other time was a couple months ago when I watched Deontay Wilder. I don't see anybody beating him. And he's from Wakanda, so unfortunately, I have to go with Kenyon on this one. Deontay Wilder wins. Kenyon, by default, wins the debate.
It was
Damn it.
It was definitely default.
It was by coin flip.
It was by coin flip.
I do think, to your point, because it sounds like the fight is going to be in the UK, and they would make buku money in a rematch stateside.
Yeah. It has to be a good fight.
But the thing is this, though, and it's not that, because Deontay's not going to cooperate with any of the shenanigans, but I could see Joshua fighting very similar to how he fought this weekend against Joshua Parker, very safe, and uses boxing acumen.
He can't do the same thing, though. That he
Park-
fought
we-
a smaller person.
Parker couldn't get to him.
Yeah.
Right, but if you remember the fight with Stavern, his first fight with Stavern, Wilder, that is, and even with Luis Ortiz, he wasn't aggressive. Like he stopped because it was again a situation where he fought smart. And I think if it's a boxing match, like if it's a chess match, I think Joshua, that's a way for it to happen. And then you've got the ref. Who, I mean, you saw the ref.
Not the French ref from
Well,
Saturday.
come on now. If they brought the French ref in to preserve the fight from happening, they might bring a ref in from Slovakia to preserve the fight. You got the judges, and then you're gonna have that UK environment.
TNT.
It's not going to the cards.
TNT.
The jab is going to be active, and they are going to be fighting, and someone's going to get tired.
And let's just bring
You're
it. And let's
You're
just
right.
keep it real. I don't think Joshua could beat Ortiz.
No, yeah. If I got the other side of the coin flip, I was going to say I don't think anybody in the world beats Ortiz, including Joshua,
Right.
except that
Slave.
that dude from Wakanda.
That wants to catch a body.
He wants to catch.
He wants to catch. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah,
I mean, I felt like it was overkill. But if a guy says I want a body on my record,
His alter ego said that, though.
yeah, the Bronze Bomber said that.
Well, let's get out of here before we catch the damn body. So that's going to do it for our show today. Thank you for joining us on Confirmation Bias. Again, check us out on social media at our handle at The League AM, our website, theleagueam.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel under The League Ambassadors. Please share on social media. And liking is cool, but sharing is caring. And let us know if your bias has been confirmed. See y'all next week.